Alright, as I said in a previous video, I've got the engine for this thing. I got the Predator 670. It's the 22 horsepower twin cylinder. And I got it on sale, so I'm happy about that. And what I'm facing now is just fitment. That's always the challenge when you put in a custom engine. I've got it sitting there, and I'm too far to the left side of your screen as you're looking at it. I got to come back over some, and I think I've got room to do that with no problem. I do have some clearance issues with the hood to be able to put my air breather on. I think I'm going to have to cut the lip of that hood scoop on the inside, which I don't like cutting stuff, but under this circumstance, that ain't the worst thing that I'd have to cut. Then I think I'm going to have to customize the exhaust. As I slide it to the right side, then that's putting it where that muffler is not gonna work. A couple options. I thought about cutting the pipe and getting an extension and welding it. I thought about just cutting it off and putting on a couple of pepper shaker exhaust. So we'll just have to see. Otherwise, the engine fits in there pretty good. I'm probably going to use this spacer under the hood, as I mentioned. I may do that regardless, just to give myself some clearance under here. I kind of like having that. So it's just a process of getting it situated and fitting. Now, another thing that I'm going to have to address is the battery. I was going to put the battery back there. I'm going to take all of this out, move my key to the dash, and the choke and the throttle. I'll eliminate that, and I'll put that in the dash. Where the engine currently is sitting, it's going to be awful tight. And so what I've thought about doing is moving it back to here. There will be a cover over that so it won't be seen. I can run the cable down. There's a hole there for the cable to go through. I can ground it to the body. But the thing about doing that is I've got to put a gas tank on this thing. I didn't realize this 670 didn't come with a gas tank like the other Predators. So what I've got is this gas tank off of a GT14 14.6, and I'm going to mount it right here. Sorry for the camera work. I'm going to build a ledge for it to sit on. I'm going to cut a hole in my top, and then I'm going to drop it where I can fill the gas. That right there, that's where the original tank was anyway, so that there does not bother me. I don't like having the battery there. So I'm going to pull this switch out and just see what I got to do to make that battery fit in there. If I've got to slide the engine forward a little bit, I've got a little bit of clearance. I can do that. All right, let me take a moment to stop here and do a little video of what I'm doing. I took a piece of cardboard and I measured out a template, and then I cut this piece of aluminum, and I'm clamping it in my vise because it's small enough to do that with this piece of hickory, real piece of hardwood, and just folding it over. And this will be a tray for my gas tank to sit on. And yeah, I'm denting it up a little bit there, but the gas tank's going to be sitting on it and you're not going to see it. But I'll mount that to the inside of that ledge, and I may put some the holes that I drill, I may get some L brackets and put for extra support. Alright, I can't do this and hold my phone at the same time, so I'm going to get back to work. Alright, I got the tray made, gas tank bolted to it. I've got it clamped in place for now, and I think it's going to work. I'm going to put 2 bolts in it up high. I put a L bracket riveted in the back corner. That front don't need it. I didn't make the lip on it as long as I did the sides. And I thought the sides may help support it. And it's sagging a little bit right now. Once I get that bolted in, I think it'll pull up tight. I'm going to put the bolts up high. And I made that back lip, it's 4 inches. So that should give it plenty of support. And if that's not enough, then I'll go back in and put an L bracket up underneath there to give it additional support. But I think it'll be good. And it's like it was made for it. I got to clean the tank up, make it look a little better. The inside's good. It's got a seep hole here if you spill any, filling it up. And that'll run right out of the back of the tractor on to the ground like it would in a Sears tractor. So I think that's a success. Now I got to make my top, and I'll cut a hole there for the fill cap. All right, I got the gas tank mounted. Some more free hardware. Looks nice, I think. And I was able to get that lip to sit perfectly up on top of that ledge, which gives it good support. And then when I put my top on there, I don't think it'll go anywhere. So I just got to work on the top next. All right, I've started on the top here. I've got this piece. It doesn't come down as far as it's supposed to, but I'm going to be good with that. I've got to take this and get it bent. A friend of mine's got a metal breaker, access to one, and I've got to bend that down, and that'll overlap about 1 inch where I can bolt it in the front. And I've got my hole cut out for the gas tank, and then I'll have the seat plate. The bolts will go through there. I missed those 2, but that'll be okay. I'm going to put washers on that, and the seat will be ready to go back on. All right, and I'm continuing to make progress with the engine. Got it about where I need to. I cut that lip off, and in doing so, I burnt my paint. I'm going to have to do some touch up. But everything fits under there. I think it looks good. Battery's going to fit right there. That's good. Move the key up to the ignition. Everything's good. Moving right along. All right, working on the engine some more. And I've got everything taken off the top here. The fuel filter came in right here and routed down around, so I really needed it to come out the back, so I just undone it and rerouted it. And then that will go down through there and back and under the gas tank. About 42 inches versus 62 inches. So that'll help on that. I've got the engine pretty close to where it needs to sit. I got the pulleys lined up. Looks nice. I probably need a little shorter belt than that. The lip of the hood right there catches on this oil hose. I guess that's an oil cooler. And it rubs across that. So my options is to get another line and lengthen that to where it will go down and around, or to cut my hood. I'm thinking a piece of hose is a lot cheaper than cutting my hood, or better. Wouldn't cost anything to cut my hood, I don't guess, but I don't want to cut my hood. I've already cut it once. Didn't like doing that, but it got the engine to fit. Just a little lip. Let me show you under there what I cut. Right there is where I got into it, where it burned the paint. Got a little too close. That's all right. We'll fix it. All right, so I got the throttle and choke cable hooked up, or run. I don't have them hooked to the engine. And those are the original. This one, let me get my camera over here. This one is the choke. And this is the one he had spliced together with a wrench. And right there's where it was broke, and you can see it's just perfect. And I'll just have to get my length there. And then this was the throttle cable. So that works good. get that all hooked up, and then once I'm positive this is where the engine's going to sit, I'll mark and drill my holes and get this thing bolted down and get my fuel line run, and I got to put my ignition in the dash, and I think this thing will be ready to go. Hope that's going to be very soon. All right, I think I've got everything bolted up enough, and it's not finished, but I think it's ready for its first start. Let's get on this thing and see what happens. That's what I'm talking about. Sounds like a Volkswagen. Starting to rain on me. I got to drive it. Now my son's driving it. That thing sounds mean with that exhaust on there. Alright, I'm going to put her up. A lot more to do, but it's running.